Welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to start off by doing the valve cover gasket on the top of this engine. And then I'm going to, depending on how fast that goes, I'm going to hopefully do the alternator and an oil change, as well as some moldings for the doors and a couple other little bits to freshen things up. I have a whole bunch more parts coming as well, so I'll see how far I can get today. I gotta drive it tomorrow, so we'll see how fast I can do this. Well, let's get into it. So in order to get down, I got to take off all the boost pipes, intercooler, top timing cover, and that should be it. Yeah, let's get started. These are the two valve cover bolts, the main bolts that hold down the valve cover. Well, now that I have the valve cover off, I can kind of look around and see, like it was leaking right over here, which is just along that big long flat spot, and then it looks like it might have been leaking on this side as well. Looks like it was just kind of leaking everywhere, especially the back, all over the place. So everything else in here looks great. Like everything looks like good. There's no buildup of anything. As far as I can tell, I don't know diesels too well, but it looks pretty good. So from here, I'm just going to clean everything up the best I can, and then clean up the valve cover. Just right over here. So I'll clean that thing up, put a new gasket in it. I'll put some RTV stuff on. I think it's RTV, whichever stuff I have. Put it on like the problem areas to connect the half moon with the rest of it. Clean it all up, and then put it back on, torque everything to spec. Should be good. So I have cleaned it all up the best of my abilities. While I was cleaning it up, I noticed this spot right here. Looks like there's a little chunk out of the casting there, and it is raised up. So I'm just gonna talk to the fine folks at the Vancouver Pajero Club and see if that's a major problem, or if I can just push that down, kind of like get it flat. Yeah, minor repair. That's probably did not help the fact that it was leaking. So yeah, I'll double check with them and see what the deal is. So what I'm doing here is I'm very lightly chiseling down the area that's proud with a flathead and a ratchet. Bring you in for a closer look. So I literally just, what you saw there, couple seconds, I just took a flathead. Aluminum's so soft. I took a flathead, it's steel, and I just kind of chiseled away at it. Just the stuff that was sticking up, nothing crazy. I packed it full of paper towel before trying to chisel anything. Just to make sure that none of the filings went into the engine. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. It's pretty flat. I mean, not a machine shop here. I'm literally just doing this on my street. So looks like it's all good from here. I'm gonna go through once more, clean it up a little bit more, and then put the gasket back on. So while I'm cleaning this up, I figured I'd kind of give you some ideas of what I'm doing. So the plan is, this thing will be for camping / just driving up mountains, very light off-roading. And then eventually I'd like to build out the back to have a camper in it. I don't need this to have any more power. I just want it to be reliable and not leak any oil. So this is the first step in that. I don't know if we'll ever take it winter camping or not, but it does have built-in heaters all over the damn thing. It's got its own heater for the back as well. It's honestly not even that dirty. Maybe in the future I'll do something with the valve cover, but for now it's doing its job. Alright, so I have the valve cover here. I already put the gasket in. You just kind of put it in place. Since it doesn't have a problem leaking from the gasket to the cover, it's from the head to the gasket. This is fine. And then I'm going to add, there's a half moon that goes on the back of the engine. I'm going to add some RTV to it, very small amount, don't need to go crazy. And then a little bit on the top, because this will be right around here. And I want it to be extra sealed. It should be fine because it's brand new, it's OEM adjacent. So it should be fine, but I'd like to just be extra careful. Squeezing it all so that it's got pressure on the top, and then folding it over so it can't squish back. Now I should be able to squeeze it out. And then nothing crazy, just a small layer. I'm going to clean it up and then drop it in. Alright, here it is. Just a little bit of goop on it, nothing crazy. Gonna drop this down. There we go. Now before I put the valve cover on, I'm just going to put a couple little bits at the corners of the cam at the front. Just areas that could leak. Anywhere where there's a sharp angle, I usually like to put a dab on. Again, we're not painting anything too crazy here. Just want a thin layer to help that gasket seal. There we go. really should have undone this alternator cable. There we go. So the bolts have new rubber washers that go on them, and it helps center everything. So I'm gonna go grab those, put a tiny splooge of RTV on, or sorry, Permatex. A little bit of Permatex, nothing crazy. Just a little skim of a layer. Make sure nothing gets out of that hole. I guess they would be kind of like a bushing. Clean up the bolt. I had to add these brackets that hold wires on top of the engine here. Okay, now that this is all snugged up, I'm going to go grab my torque wrench and then come back and torque these down to spec. Alright, so just went through online and looked at all the torque specs. I think my torque wrench goes down that far. It is... No, mine only goes down to 10, but I should be able to cheat it a little bit. Now that's next to nothing for torque. I wish my torque wrench went lower. There we go. Whew. There it is. Ooh.
Look like you're all set up.
Oh yeah.
Got it all covered.
I hope so. There. I think that's just perfect. It is tight all the way around. I'll double check it once well, really once I get everything else together and let it heat cycle. But I think that's got it. Sweet. There's that, is there. Put those away in that. This goes back on here. Just gotta put stuff back where it came from. I won't put the winter cooler back on quite yet, because I got lots of time left, so I'm going to try and do my alternator. I guess oil change and alternator. I'll have to get a couple things set up for that, but might as well. Oh, it's a lot of work. Let's get at it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Now that I got the oil draining, I'm going to gain access to the oil filter and also the alternator, because why not? Lots of room now. You can see the turbo. Oh yeah, turbo seems nice. Nice and tight. That's good. So this oil filter, don't want to take it off quite yet. I'm gonna move the oil drain pan underneath of where the filter is to catch any extra oil. show you guys what I'm trying to do here. So that is the alternator bolt. Right there is the tensioner bolt. So I'm gonna try and loosen that off as much as I can to get the top part of it loose, and then I can undo the there is this guy right down here. That one I have to undo, and then there's one going into the oil pan. So once I get those off, I should be able to fish that thing out. One nice thing about having the new part with you is you can look and see where it's mounted, what the size of fittings that you're actually going to be taking off. So I can put something on that first to see how big it is, and yeah, just kind of get an overall idea of what I'm doing here. So the top one, the bottom one is right down there. All right. Almost there. Okay, gotta take another hose off before it can come up. But I can actually access it now, so. This bad boy split while I was going to get it off. It's really dry and old, so I'll have to replace that. 1-inch hose isn't too bad. Oh, there she is. Ooh. So as you can tell, it's got quite a bit of oil on it, which has reduced the amount of it working, its efficiency range. It's probably also super worn out. So I gotta make sure I have all the right fittings on this. Grab a tube or a like a 1-inch drain tube, this thing. I think I have some sitting around. And then do it backwards. Put it back in with the new one. So, obviously this one has a dual pulley on it. So I think I'm going to take my pulley off and swap them. This one also has these fittings pointed a different direction, but that's not a big deal. I can loosen that and turn them. The drain's in the same spot, and the feed is in the same spot. So it should be pretty straightforward. Oh yeah, there we go. Woo! 10 minutes or so of trying to get that bolt off. Yeah, but I did it. Yeah, it's an original alternator, so yeah, the new one is a lot shinier. So, I've come into an issue. switching to the other pulley because they're not the same size. They're different diameter on the center, so it would be spinning at a different speed. And then it's also just not wide enough for my current belt. So I got to get this on there, but I also need to run a little bit of a spacer. This washer is almost enough. So I need to find another washer to stack. Just one, not multiple washers, but one washer just to get it the right height so that I can lock it down. So my options are pretty slim. It is 5 o'clock, so a lot of stuff is closed down. I'm gonna check and see if I have any washers first, so I'll be back. So it's the next day and I'm inside. I needed some washers. So I had to wait because all the stores were closed, and then it got dark. I also have a hose, but I don't know if it's the right hose yet. I might need to go get another one. But I needed washers because when I put this on, the shank of the alternator sticks out too far. So I had to go get these washers to be able to put them on, then the lock washer, then the nut. Yes, I know you're a cat. So that should hold it on just fine. Now I just need a hose that's properly rated. I'm gonna do some research and make sure that this is rated properly. If it's not, I'll be going to get some hose. Yes, I understand. So this is grade A marine fuel hose. Should be more than adequate for the oil. Now that I got both of those pieces on, I could put, I should probably put the oil feed and then wiggle it back in there and get it all hooked up. Okay, I got it in the right spot. Now I need to rotate it into the right orientation, get the drain on, and then get the bolt to hold it in place. So the hose doesn't really want to go on, so I'm just stretching it out a little bit so it goes on a little easier. This will also warm because friction. It'll warm it up so it gets more malleable. Next step would be getting my heat gun out and heating it up more, but this should be more than enough. So that's the feed line right here, turbo feed. Underneath is the drain, or sorry, not turbo, this is the vacuum pump. And then over here, this guy is vacuum to the brake booster, and then this one goes to the throttle. I don't know, I think. I know which one it is, I just don't know where it goes. Yeah, I was having trouble lining everything up, but I got it all lined up now. I'm gonna put all the fittings on, tighten them, then I can put proper tension on it and fill the whole thing up with oil. I mean, obviously after I clean up that oil filter location. and put the new filter on. Man, this is a lot more work than I thought it was gonna be. So I went and just sanded around the edge. Very smooth. I mean, pretty smooth. Now I'm gonna put this back on and connect all the hoses. All right, that one fought me quite a bit. I'll bring you guys in, see what I was doing. Let's see. So, as you can see on the side of the oil filter housing, there's that one bolt, banjo bolt, that connects to this braided line that goes down to the pump over there. That one just wasn't wanting to go in. It's hard to tell from here, but it's not even squared to the housing. It's not squared to the other bolts on it. It's just at a random ass weird angle. So it took me a couple minutes. Now gotta make sure that's tight. The other end of that's tight. I gotta make sure that one's tight. Then I gotta plug in the positive wire and a couple other things. Then I can progress to the next step. Whew, that was a lot. Moving on to full-on reassembly. So I have some Motul 80s. It's one of their new formulas. It's I mean, it's Motul. It's the best. Don't know what else to say. Oh. And 10W40 isn't for every climate. So don't take this as what oil weight you should run. There it is, all the way to the full. Perfect. Last thing I need to put on is the intake. Now that I got it all running, I can see that it's getting there. It's a brand new alternator, so it might take a minute or two to actually read the proper voltage. I think, I don't know, but everything else looks good. Sounds pretty good so far. I think I might have had a boost leak too, because you can really hear the turbo now. I think I'm going to let it idle for a little bit longer and then check it again. So she's warming up, almost at temperature, still reading pretty low. thinking about it now, I'm pretty sure that would be the belt slipping, because the belt looks like it's way too long. Let it get up to temperature. Now I'm gonna check oil again. See, now it's looking like it's a little low, so I'll add a little bit more and should be good to go. Hard to see. That says 14.2. Once it warms up, I'm sure it'll go up a little higher, but it's a lot better than 12. So that'll be it for today's video. Next, I have a bunch of interior cleanup to do. I have new seals for the windows, and I have some other kind of restoration kind of stuff to do. So that'll be the next video, and then hopefully the video after that will be all Forester content, because I'm really excited to get going on that one. So I'll see you guys later.